Hello friends, this is the second session on the mental ability topic of blood relations. So now we'll do a quick recap of what we did in the first session on this topic. So we first talked about what is this topic, what are the kind of questions that come under this topic of blood relations. So we discussed that. And then we discussed what is the requirement to be able to solve these questions. So on that list, the first requirement was the knowledge of relations. So we discussed the relations where we talked about the 4 level of generations. So we talked about grandparents, we talked about parents, then the uncles and aunts, then we talked about the my generation, which would include brothers and sisters and cousins, and then we talked about the next generation, which will be my children, and then there would be niece and nephew parallel to that in that generation. So we talked about the 4th level of generations. Then we talked about the relations which were divided between maternal and paternal relations. So we had, on this front, we had maternal grandfather, maternal grandmother, paternal grandfather, paternal grandmother. Then we had maternal uncle, maternal aunts, paternal uncle, paternal aunts, and so on. So we discussed about these 2 type of relations. Now we'll talk about some more relations in this session, and then we'll move on to solving the questions. So some more relations would be the relation which are based on the spouse side. So spouse means either husband or wife, right? For a female, her husband's side relations would come under this category. For a male, his wife's side relations. So what are these relations? First is spouse's mother would be mother-in-law. Then spouse's father is father-in-law. So it is important to know all these relations to be able to solve the questions. Otherwise, we will not be able to figure out what is the relation between these 2 people that we have to find out till the time we have knowledge of all these relations. Then spouse's sister would be sister-in-law. Similarly, spouse's brother would be brother-in-law. And then the next generation, which will be related to children's family. So which would mean son's spouse, or you can say son's wife will be daughter-in-law, and then daughter's husband or daughter's spouse is son-in-law. So besides the relations that we talked about in the first session, these are some more relations that we need to know before trying to solve these type of questions. Now let's understand what are the steps required to solve the blood relations type of questions. So the first important thing here is that we start solving these questions from one end. and that end could be either the beginning or finishing end. What does that mean? This means that supposing we are saying that this person, say A, we are talking about now A and B. We have to find the relations between A and B, and it is given that A's grandmother's son is B. So now you have to find the relation between A and B. So either you can start from A or you can start from B, but you should not start from the grandmother. Or if there are multiple relations involved in the question, you should not start from any one relation in between the chain. What you have to start from is either the end A or the end B, which is either the beginning end or the finishing end. Because then we can clearly move along the chain and find out the relation. But if we start somewhere from the middle, there is a high possibility that we will be lost in making that connection. So the first important thing is that we should start solving these questions from either of the ends. And the second thing that we have to remember is we should draw a flow chart, either on paper or in your mind. Now, how do you decide whether you draw it on paper or mind? Is based on your comfort level or the complexity of the problem. Now the first thing is, how are you comfortable? Do you want to draw it on paper or do you want to draw it in your mind? Now if you decide that I'll prefer to draw it in my mind, but then you see the complexity of the problem and the complexity requires 5 or 6 relations, then it may become difficult to keep it in mind. So then you again come back to drawing it on paper. Now what do we mean by a flow chart? There is no standard way of drawing the flow chart in this case, but you have to find your convenient way of finding. Like supposing you have a person A, so if you're talking about his next generation, you could draw an arrow like this and you could say mother, uncle, aunt. You can draw it at a different level, and when you want to draw the spouse or brother, sister, you can draw it parallel to that. So that approach you have to find on your own. What is the way to draw a flow chart? Because there is no standardized way of doing it. It's just that you have to find it convenient to read and decode and find out the final relation. So the important steps are, first you have to pick one end and start from there, and the second thing is definitely think in terms of flow chart, either on paper or in mind, that's a choice, but think in terms of a flow between the relations. Then it will become easier to solve these type of questions. So now we'll take an example on how do we solve such questions. Now the question is, pointing to a person, Arun said, he is my mother's only son's son. So now what we do is, we know Arun is the person who's talking and he is talking about somebody, and we have to find the relation between Arun and that person. Let's call that person as A. So now Arun is saying he is my mother's, first of all, Arun's mother. So we have taken one end, which is Arun, right? We have to find the relation between Arun and that person. So Arun is one end and that person is the second end. So now here it is easier if I start from Arun, but anyway the choice is yours, whichever end you want to choose. The important thing is, how do you decide is based on the ease of solving for you. Whichever is easier, pick that end. So now I take Arun here and he says he is my mother's only son. Now mother's son could be either him or his brother. These are the only two possibilities, but the statement says only son. So brother is ruled out. So he's talking about my mother's only son, which is himself, and he's talking about his son. So Arun is father of that person who is talking about. Right? So instead of saying that he is my son, he is saying he is my mother's only son's son. So this is where it is important. If it is not written only son, then it could be either he or his brother. But because it is written that it is only son, and so Arun has to be the only son, so he is talking about his son. So Arun is the father of that person. So this is the approach that we take to solve these type of questions. In the next session, we will take up few more examples and understand the different techniques and different ways of solving these type of questions. Friends, you can visit us at our Cool Smart Learning website and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get updates on the new sessions.